So Flesh is one of the more interesting additions to Complete 11 Ultimate, and it's a unique instrument. It was created by Tim Exile, so you already know it's going to be kind of eccentric, esoteric, and it's a live performance instrument with a very unique way of working. The main idea behind it is that this center aisle, or this center little circle here, is your samples, and you basically throw in a sample, usually a percussive loop, and that percussive loop will be analyzed by the engines and then be able to create sub layers. It can create monophonic melodies, it can create polyphonic arrangements, effects, all controlled by these different macro controls for an extreme kind of playable instrument that you just get hands-on with. So listen to this. As I hold down the C note, this is playing through one drum loop, generating a bass line, a sequence bass line, and then some kind of spongy weird thing. But as I would scroll through these different sounds, different engines are going to play all sorts of crazy stuff. And so you can see as I just play through just a few keys, it's generating all this interestingness. So there's lots of snapshots for you to go through and play around with, but if you really want to use this for your own productions and create your own unique take on it, let's load up an initial patch and we'll kind of take a look at what this all entails. So as I push down the note, first thing I can notice is a lot of these are playing. I can just click to mute everything out, except the, let's just keep the samples turned up. And so by default, it'll load in a loop. But let's load in something else, because this is the way I use Flesh. I throw in audio into it, and I use it as like a creative sampler, because you never know what's going to happen. So let's take a loop that everyone's heard. How about, let's see here, the levee breaks. All right, so what is Flesh going to do to this? First thing I want to do is kind of throw down the threshold to add a couple more transient slices, and I'm going to make this like fast breakbeat style. Right? Okay, that's a good start. Next, let's come into the sample area and actually spectrum will kind of like open up the filter, and length will give these transients longer. So right away, it's kind of resembling the initial loop, and you can play through these different engines now. So instantly I could resample that and use it in a different way. But where it gets crazier is maybe you want to even take it up a notch. Let's see what else we can do. We can add some effects in here and throw in the effects return, or the send, if you will. Very interesting. What else can we do? Let's actually generate a rhythm now out of this. So let's actually turn down the rhythm altogether. And let's see what happens if we bring up the synth engines. Again, you can't even really tell that was the original Led Zeppelin loop, but you have something interesting to work with now. So honestly, play around with it. I find myself just throwing stuff in and resampling and then chopping it up later inside a machine. Really unique, interesting instrument. It's not going to be for everyone maybe, but you know, use your creativity and get something out of it.